You know how I said I'd wake up and there'd be new controversies in my comments? Well, I'm always right. So people have been taking a stroll through memory lane, and they've basically found that when Goose said she had a bunch of edgy jokes in her drafts that would probably cause her to lose her professional position, she wasn't exaggerating. First, we have her constant, incessant need to joke about incest, like it seems every other second. All of these jokes just have the pun of ha 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 incest. Okay, dude. But then again, 30-year-old white women on Tumblr, what did we expect? She also has a post where she complains about people making a character's skin darker because they aren't black. Mind you, the character is based off a black man. This makes me wonder how many times she saw fan art of Jax being black and internally seethed. And then last but not least, she makes a joke about replacing this guy called Shadman, the same guy who literally drew porn of real life children. She also posted this around the time he got arrested for assault with a deadly weapon. Genuinely can't fathom what's so funny about that. Every day I truly thank God that I never started posting on Twitter, because it seems that being on that app for long periods of time genuinely just makes you desensitized to everything horrible in the world, to the point where it's almost sad. There's something severely wrong with you people if this does not elicit any concern from you. More updates about Glitch's overall descent from grace as I descent into madness. There was a new negative review added to Glitch's Glassdoor page within the past few days. It's really bad. I'm gonna put the screenshots up here as always for you guys to pause and read. But the TLDR is that this review alleges that the company is highly punitive, very punishing, borderline abusive, and misogynistic, hard to get sick days off. There's a high turnover rate because they treat the animators like they're disposable. And of course, the absolute overload of crunch time that I mentioned in the previous video talking about this, which just kind of lined up with the fact that Goose said she was working like 19 hours a day on the finale to finish it. What? Now I want to clarify something from my last video. The Glassdoor's review process is not as ironclad as I thought. It is possible for people to fake reviews, though from what I've seen, the pattern is more so employees faking positive reviews and vice versa. Not saying it's impossible, but you can also react to reviews on Glassdoors and suggest whether or not they're helpful to other people. And on average, the negative reviews are getting a significantly more amount of "this is helpful" reactions compared to the positive ones, which kind of implies that the negative reviews are the common consensus for the people who come to review Glitch on Glassdoors at the very least. Hi, this is post-editing Digi, although you won't really notice anything is different, so I don't know why I had to announce that, but I actually did manage to get back onto Glitch's Glassdoor review page, and there are a lot of more negative recent reviews that have been added as of recent, kind of all spanning within a week. Now, one could look at that and say that it's a smear campaign, and whilst I 100% understand, I feel like this video is going to be another one of mine that's just a really messy stream of consciousness, but just try and stay with me. So as I said in the caption of my previous video, someone told me to look up the word racist on Gooseworks' Twitter profile, and I did. And unsurprisingly, it reads as some of the most right-wing, SJW, stupid liberal snowflake own thing you ever seen. If there's one thing you gotta look out for, it's for white people who never actually talk about racism, except for accounts where they think people are over-exaggerating what they think is racist. Because even if that context is an exaggeration, it's weird that you only want to talk about racism in that light. It says a lot. Like this tweet here where she sarcastically calls herself racist when asked why she's not playing these black characters in a game. Which, being low-hanging level snowflake humor aside, is that not weird? No, it is weird. It is weird and it is racist. Imagine if I said, yeah, I don't play Bridget from Guilty Gear because I'm transphobic, even sarcastically. No one would fuck with that, other than transphobes. Which is another added layer of insanity, because you'd think being trans would make you realize how stupid this type of humor is, and that, hey, conservatives don't like you either. But then again, I guess we shouldn't be too surprised, because white queer people are genuinely some of the most racist groups I've ever met, especially online, because they think being queer exempts them from being racist, so scrap that. Actually, this is entirely expected. And what's funny enough is her fans sound like right-wingers. If people have to sound like they came out of a Leafy is Here video from 2014 to defend you, you're in the wrong. And of course we have the age-old, oh well, it was a different